welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be showing you 4 different casserole dishes. These are going to be simple, just dump and bake casserole dishes. Hopefully these are new recipes for you and your family, and hopefully it gives you some inspiration of meals to prep for this week. So go ahead and grab your apron and let's get started. To start us off, we're going to be making this Doritos casserole. So you're going to need 1 pound of ground beef, and I just ground it up. And then you're going to use about a teaspoon of minced garlic, or you can use more, just whatever you want to use, and then mix that up till it's well combined. And then we're going to add 12 ounces of corn, and you can use a can or you can use frozen. I just chose to use frozen. And then we're going to add in some black beans. You definitely don't have to. I think I used about a cup of black beans, but that's optional as well. You can add any other type of toppings that you want, that you think would go with it. I think corn, rotels, and black beans always go together in a Mexican dish. And then I just put in about an ounce of taco seasoning. I just had that type of brand on hand, so I just went ahead and used that brand instead of a packet. And then I'm just going to combine this, get it well mixed together, and then I'm going to add in 1 can of rotels, and then get that thoroughly mixed through. And then I have this knockoff brand from Aldi's of these cheesy Doritos, and I'm just going to use these. I'm just going to crush them up, get them finely crushed, and I add about 2 cups of them. And then I just kind of stir that up once again. And then we're going to add in sour cream. Now, I did not have any sour cream on hand, so I just went ahead and I just used some plain yogurt, and it probably would have tasted better with sour cream, but it's a really good alternative if you don't have any sour cream on hand. I do that in several other recipes. If I don't have any on hand, then I will usually have plain yogurt, and I'll just use that instead. Okay, and I'm just going to get this mixed through, and then once it's mixed through, I'm going to go ahead and put some cheese. I put about a cup of cheese in it, get that mixed through, and then we will be ready to put it in our 9x13 pan. Okay, so this pan was lightly greased, and I'm just going to add this to my 9x13 pan. I have a big old cast iron skillet, so it's really heavy, and it's really hard to get it out, to get all this casserole out. So if you see me struggling, it's so heavy. I love cooking with cast iron skillets, but they are so heavy. And then I'm just going to even this all out, and then I'm going to add another 1.5 cups or so to on top of my casserole. You know that I like cheese. I like to have everything extra cheesy. And then once it's all done, then I'm going to go ahead and put some more Doritos on top. And the ones I'm going to put on top, you don't have to crush them as fine as you did for the other mixture. Just lightly crushed, really. And put that on top, and then it is ready for the oven. I baked this in the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes, and this is what it looks like when it's all done, and everyone really liked it. They did enjoy it. Okay, next is Cowboy Casserole, and this is my husband's favorite casserole that I make of all time. So I'm just going to prepare this 9x13 pan, and I'm just going to put a whole bag of tater tots. You can use whatever tater tots that you want. I like using these crowns, and I'm just going to put that in the oven at 425 degrees, and I'm going to leave it in there until my mixture is done here. So while that is cooking in the oven, I'm going to ground up 1/2 pound of ground beef and get it all mixed through. And then once that's all mixed through, I'm going to add in my garlic. So I put in about 2 cloves worth, so maybe like a tablespoon of garlic is what I end up putting in. And I'm just going to go ahead and get that completely mixed through. And then I'm going to add in a can of Rotels. Well, actually just like half a can of Rotels here. And then I'm just going to let it cook until all the juices kind of cooked down. This is one of the recipes that I use that I will double very, very frequently and then freeze the other half of it, just because it uses half a pound of ground beef. So I just find it easier just to double this recipe, put it into casserole dishes, put one in the freezer. So it's a great option if you are in a hurry and you like to use freezer meals. So just wanted to add that. And I'm going to put in 1/3 a cup of milk and then 1 can of cream of mushroom soup to this and just get that mixed through. And then once that's mixed through, then we're going to go ahead and add in our seasonings. Okay, now we're going to add in half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder, and I did want to add that you can add onions to this when you're cooking this with the meat. I just don't. It adds a lot of flavor. It does. It's just I don't really like cooking with onions a whole lot. I don't know. I know that adds flavor, but it's just kind of a pain in the butt for me. But once that's done and you got it well stirred through, I'm going to go ahead and add in a can of corn. And then you can add in some black beans. That's optional. Or you can put in some black olives. That would be good as well. Like I said previously, I just think that Rotels, corn, and black beans always go together. So I think I put in about half a cup of black beans here, and I'm just going to get it well mixed through. And then we're going to add in some sour cream. So I put in about 1/4 a cup of sour cream in here, and I got that well mixed through. Now, if you like flavor and you like extra spiciness to your meals, this is what we did. This was extremely spicy. So my kids had a hard time eating it because it was so spicy. But you can add in some green chilies just for some flavor. And then I put in like half a can of these canned jalapenos. Oh my word, they were so spicy. I don't know if I grabbed like the extra hot can, I don't know, but it was really, really spicy, but the flavor was phenomenal. And then I went ahead and add in some cheese, so maybe about, I don't know, half a cup here, and then we'll add some cheese to the top of it after we put it in our 9x13 pan. Okay, now that our mixture's done, I'm going to get that tater tots out of the oven, and I'm just going to transfer it to this bowl for just a minute. And I'm going to put that mixture at the bottom of this 9x13 pan. And yeah, it's so hard to get all of that out because I need like 2 hands. I need another hand is what I really need because it takes 2 hands to hold that cast iron skillet. It's crazy. And then I'm just leveling off this casserole mixture, and then I'm going to add in my tater tots to the very top of that, and then we're going to add in probably about another cup of cheese or so on top of that, and then it should be ready for the oven. And I just continued baking this at 425 degrees, and I put it in the oven for about 20-25 minutes, just until the tater tots were nice and toasty on top, and it was so good. My family loves this meal so much. My family absolutely loved this meal. It is so simple. It only has 5 ingredients. So to get started, I'm just going to use a pot of boiling water, and I'm going to add in this whole bag of noodles to it and let that cook. And while that's kind of boiling, I went ahead and started my beef mixture. So I used 1 pound of beef and just ground it up until it's nice and brown. And then when that's done, I'm just going to add in 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup and then 1 jar of French onion dip. And that's it. It's amazing. It's so, so simple. So here I'm just adding my 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup, and then once I add that, then I just mix that together and give it a really good stir. You can use a jarred French onion dip, or you can use this plastic container that I use, a French onion dip. I think this turned out really, really good. We never made this meal before. It was divine. I absolutely loved it. It was so simple. All my kids liked it. So I considered this a win for sure. It did not take that long to make, probably under 15 minutes or so before you could just pop it in the oven. So I really liked this meal. And now that my egg noodles are done cooking, I'm just going to add it to this mixture and just get it well combined, and then I'm ready to put it in the 9x13 pan. I lightly greased this 9x13 pan, and I'm just tossing it in there. And I'm sorry, my camera's all crazy with the way that I put this, so I'm sorry if the lighting's really crazy and you can see all the steam and everything. But I'm just going to level this off, make sure everything's nice and even on top. And then I'm going to put some French onion, fried French onions on top of that. So about a cup, or you can definitely use more, because this was like the best part of the meal. So definitely don't skip on that. Okay, and then I'm going to put this at 350 degrees for about 25 minutes, and that's it. It's done. And my kids, actually all of them liked it, so I was thankful for that. And I just paired this with some green beans whenever it was done cooking, and dinner was served. It was delicious. For this chicken bacon ranch casserole, I'm going to fry up about 7 to 8 slices of bacon. And doesn't that just look delicious? There's nothing more satisfying than watching bacon cook. I just love it. And once it's all done cooking, I'm going to take it out of the pan and just put it on a plate to let the grease dry off and soak into that paper towel. And then I'm going to use this same pan, and I'm going to put in my chicken that I had diced up. I diced up about 2 pounds of chicken so that they're in bite-sized pieces. And then I'm just going to cook that up. I'm going to season it with some salt and pepper. And then I'm going to add in my other stuff once it's done cooking. Okay, and now that it's done cooking, I'm just going to take it out and put it in a bowl by itself. And I'm going to start my like creamy mixture. And then when that's done, then I'll add my chicken and bacon back into the pan whenever that's done cooking. So I took a little bit of this little juice mixture out, maybe about, I don't know, 2 tablespoons worth. And then I just put in 2 tablespoons of flour, and I'm going to mix that through. And then I'm going to add in about 3 cloves of garlic just to give this some flavor. And once that's all mixed through and combined, I'm going to add in some milk. Alright, now I'm going to add in my 1 cup of milk, and I'm just going to use a whisk, and I'm going to whisk this through. I have to get it stirred through really, really well, so that this will thicken up and be that creamy mixture that we are wanting. And while that's thickening up, I'm going to go ahead and get started on my noodles. So I have a pot of boiling water, and I add in about a box, so maybe 10 ounces of rotini noodles. And I'm just going to let that cook while I am working on my creamy ranch mixture. So once this is all thickened up, I'm going to go ahead and add in my ranch. So I add in about 3/4 a cup of ranch dressing. You can use whatever dressing that you have, whatever you have on hand. I used Hidden Valley, but I've used all sorts of different kinds before. I've made this many times before. So I've used Kraft, I've used like a knockoff brand from Walmart, knockoff brand from Aldi's. It all tastes the same. So I put the ranch in and get that well mixed through. And then we're going to add in some cheese once that's good and boiling. Here I just added in some cheese, so maybe about 1/2 cup of cheese right here. And I'm just going to give that a good stir, get that mixed through. And then we will add in our green chilies. So I have a small can, maybe 4 ounces of green chilies that I'm going to add to this, just to give it some flavor, just an extra boost. And I use these fire roasted green chilies, and I'm going to give that a good stir. And then it should be ready for us to add our chicken and bacon back in once that's mixed through. Everything is well combined. I put in my green chilies, my bacon. So now I'm just going to go ahead and stir in my chicken, get that well combined, and then we're going to transfer this to the 9x13 pan, and my noodles should be done by this time. So I transferred everything to this 9x13 pan, and now I'm just going to go ahead and add in my rotini noodles and fold that in and get that well combined, and then we're going to put some cheese on top of that, and it will be ready for the oven. here I'm just adding about a cup of cheese just to coat the topping of that with enough cheese. And then I'm going to bake this in the oven at 350 for about 45 minutes. And this is what it looks like when it's all done. It is gorgeous. It is delicious. Of course, with the bacon, it's going to be a delicious meal. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and subscribe so you don't miss my next one. Bye for now.